I would say double stream. I got a new monitor, a third monitor. So right now I've got four monitors open. I've got my Cintiq and I've got two standard monitors with um, um, stuff for like reference and good stuff like that. It's just it's all kind of obstructed. I don't have the right stand to have like the right elevation, and as a result, your guys' chat, excuse me, was cut off, so I couldn't actually see what you guys were saying. So I had to switch back to my laptop. So let me go ahead and pull this up though. I've got Pinterest. All right, cool. All right, so let me say hi to everyone who showed up here. Sorry, I've been driving around all morning. I'm trying to look for a new place to live, so I only just got onto this thing. So, hello, Jay, Johnny, Michael, hello, Toro. You could probably, how you doing, by the way? But you could probably guess what I'm working on first. So I'm actually working on Big Boss. Hello, how are you doing? So this morning I'm gonna start off by finishing. Well, not finishing. I'm definitely not gonna finish this today, but I'm starting out sketching in a commission. So I'm gonna be doing that for about an hour, and then I will move on to my animation after that. So let me get my water and my caffeine all prepped and good to go. How's the music? All right. Here, let me turn it up. Actually, the music. All right. So let's get this show on the road here. So this is what I'm working on today. It's a two-paneler with a cowboy character who is tentatively known as, I believe, Rado. Toro would need to tell me about that. But it's just a two-paneler with, this dude's like a gunslinger, and he's twirling his gun or his revolver in Jen's face, saying like, hey, you better watch it, little lady. These guns ain't just for show. And then she'll be like funny, and then she'll be in this next panel, and she'll be like, neither am I. She'll be crushing the pistol in her hand, and yada yada yada. So, there's a lot of prep work to get this done. I was trying to set up proper proper lens, like film, focal lens and all that jazz. Trying to get the perspective and horizon line all figured out. You're gonna see the weird looking grid here. So this was actually establishing the cone of vision, right? So it's really complicated to explain, but it's actually quite simple when you think about it. This black line here is the horizon line, and this black square is the frame of the picture. All I was doing was I was establishing perspective and lens. So the focal point of the entire drawing is right here. It's going to be this red X. And it's... How do I explain this without losing you? This right here is basically the camera, and this angle helps us establish the lens. So when I was drawing out Jen, I was kind of sticking to that camera focal lens and the perspective established. So it's a relatively new concept that I'm trying. I know all about like perspective and all that, but setting up like lens and frames and all that is very new for me. So I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but I feel like this is a good first step towards practicing it. Toro, I hope you kind of like where it's going so far. Okay, yeah, Goji, you get it. Cone of vision actually isn't something they talked about too much for me when I went into school. That's something I found out on YouTube, and I'm like, what the hell is a cone of vision? And I always ask myself, like, how do some people like draw like camera lens, like film lens, like you get that sense of like zoom and stuff, that cinematic sort of feel, and it's because they're utilizing the cone of vision. So I want to start using it for drawings going forward. Luckily for this first drawing right here, where Jen's looking up at what's his name, Rado Desperado. It's a relatively flat drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and work with that today. So let me go ahead and get that ball rolling. I've got my caffeine. So I'm set to go. So I might try to... What I'm trying to do for this panel is I'm trying to have Rado Desperado sort of boxing her in a little bit. Oh, I like Desperado. You should probably consider... You could consider making that like his middle name, Desperado. What's going on, Seg? We're doing some drawing today. Doing perspective and cone of vision. By the way, Sag, your animation was slick, man. Did you get my feedback? Ugh. Don't get addicted to caffeine, guys. It's not good for you. Just for let me log into my Patreon really quick. Totally logged out of that thing a while ago. There we go. I'm gonna link this chat once again to my Patreon. If you guys kind of want to help support this stuff, as much as $1 a month even helps me out a lot. Yeah, as you all know, money's kind of tight all over the country. I'm no different. So, Seg, what we gotta do is we gotta look into like Twitch or something, because then we can start linking up and doing like dual streams. Because I don't know if goddamn I don't know if YouTube does that. All right. So, Toro, you know what? Let me ask the chat, since we got people here. And Zaku, yeah, 1 million, man. That was pretty slick. I was happy that made it there. I didn't think it would get that high. But here's to another million, you know? I'm hoping that my other video that came after it even comes somewhat close to it, man. That thing dropped off a cliff. But, right. So, what was I saying? At Toro's request, I wanted, Toro wanted to include some sort of a backdrop here to help sell the size change. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So let me get rid of all this goddamn stuff. Yeah, the algorithm is a weird thing, man. It does depend on the algorithm, most definitely. Yeah, SAG, it's getting up there. I'm looking to try to hit 20 before the year's out. That's gonna be a very hard sell, though. I need to actually get I need to get a new video out. All right, hold on. Let me get this all organized here. All right, so let me explain what's happening in this panel here. So let me actually draw out the word bubbles. Nope, that's the wrong color. Let's see. Hey, Matthias, welcome. Glad you can make it. All right, so you guys can probably figure out what's happening. So I'm gonna call him Despe Desperado anyway, because I like the way that sounds. It rolls. It really like I can't do this. I can't do the rolling R noise when I'm doing Spanish. I can do it when I'm doing Russian though. But Rado Despe Desperado is like, you know, hey, careful, little lady. These guns ain't just for show. And she's like funny, and then she'll like, you know, Hulk out here, like Hulk out, and then she'll, you know, be towering over him, and she'll be crushing his pistol in her hand. She's like, neither are mine, because we get a good view of at Toro's behest, her bicep. And just for a little added humiliation, on the Despe Desperado's part, she's gonna be like removing his hat so he can like see her. Yeah, this is a comic. It's also a commission, so that's something I'm trying to devote some time every day to doing commission pieces. I think I got a lot of requests for those, so I need to honor them. All right, so give me a second. I'm gonna get all this. I'm gonna get all this rolling. I need to get all of the. I need to get everything kind of on one thing, so I don't gotta go like. I don't gotta go leaping between. The hell is my cat? Stop! What are you doing? Stop scratching the window. There's nothing there. All right, so I need to get everything together in one little thing, just so I don't get lost. That's fine. So all of this. All right. There. Keeping it simple. No, you're not wrong about my cat. My cat, she likes going outside, but the thing is, whenever I let her out, she likes to like stay out, and she won't come back till like dark. So I gotta kind of keep her. I gotta kind of keep her. I don't want to say locked up, but that's pretty much what it is, isn't it? All right. So I think I'm gonna do. Where's my perspective for this this shot here? All right. So if I make any transformations to this side over here, I need to make sure that I include the perspective grid that I created. But overall, I think the composition there is actually okay. I don't know if regulated is the term. She would probably say like imprisoned, tortured, like Gitmo. Speaking of which, my wife and I just watched Zero Dark 30 a little while ago. Well, actually, we watched it on Saturday. Didn't realize how bad that movie was. Last time I watched it, I was still swallowing the red pill pretty hard. Alright. So that was my kind of original sketch for the pose here. She's still grabbing like her, you know, the gun and the hat and all that. I kind of like that idea of like, you know, I'm taking your weapon and I'm also taking your clothes. You know, something about that was like extra, like, you know, this is my comic book space. There was the original rough sketch, and that was that appears to be the World Trade Center. But these are actually they're boxes. They were meant to sort of establish where in space these characters were. Yeah, sure, Tor, I'll show them. So the first sort of sketch this whole thing was making this thing into a comic. So like, you know, all of the text bubbles that I showed in the 2-panel one still is all over here, but it's more spread out to have more camera angles. So like, you know, Desperado is like, best be careful, little lady. He's doing his whole gun twirling revolver ocelot thing, and then he's pointing at her face. And, you know, this is a bad face drawing, but she's kind of like, you know, whatever. And he's like, these guns ain't just for show. And then, you know, a muscled hand would reach out and like grab the gun, and then another muscled hand would be coming over and like grabbing his collar, and would be like, you know, hey, funny. And then, you know, final panel, like she towers over him, neither am I. So that was one idea, but we're gonna stick with this one instead. And here's a protractor. The protractor was for setting up the cone of vision. All right. Hello, Skull. All right, guys. So I've been talking for a little while. I need to get to work. So let's go ahead and do this. So I still need to actually figure out Desperado here. The World Trade Center. You know, the Twin Towers. Alright, let's see. Gotta do one thing really quick, guys. Let's see. Where's my references here? There we go. Move this over. Cool. Willing to wager a bunch of you weren't even alive for that. Alright, here we go. Alright. Shoot, you know what I just realized, Toro? I didn't actually save your references for his clothing, so I'm gonna need to go back and grab that. You know what sucks? I didn't establish a third point perspective for this. So I'm gonna need to figure that out. It doesn't need to be like, well, I mean, it needs to be somewhat accurate. But it's okay if there's a little bit of give and take. Yeah, no. I know they're there. I'm gonna have to go back in there and get them. So then I remember, if I remember right, he's got like a second gun. I really should have drawn this guy on a different layer. Let me do that actually really quick. Main reasons I'm trying to focus exclusively on drawing his proportion there. Where the hell's my Discord? There. Yeah, there's this guy. All right. You know, in a lot of ways, your dude reminds me of Colm O'Driscoll. Damn O'Driscolls. All right. It's kind of, you know, I'm wondering if I should just have her like putting the hat on, you know, because like it's one of those deals where like it's like y'all remember Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance when Raiden when I believe it was like in Mexico and he like put on a sombrero and he's like adios. I feel like Jim would be the one to. I feel like Jim would be someone who would totally do something like that. Well, yeah, sorry, Turo, but your dude kind of reminds me of Colm O'Driscoll. Colm O'Driscoll. Damn O'Driscoll, boys. I read this thing when Red Dead 2 came out. That there was actually a dude named Colm O'Driscoll, who was getting a lot of hate mail when Red Dead 2 came out because it's like, damn O'Driscolls. Jen and Raiden? I don't actually know. I've never really been into like I love Metal Gear, but I was never too into Revengeance. My brother loves that game though. Like loves it to death. And I like Metal Gear, so and I like Platinum games. So it's just that's a little outside of what Metal Gear is, but you know, in the end it's better than goddamn whatchamacallit, Metal Gear Survive. That was awful. Appreciate it, Sergeant. It's only gonna be a sketch just to kind of like establish where his body's gonna be. So. Damn, Driscoll's. Yeah, this is kind of a boring pose. I don't know if I like it. There's gotta be something better I can do. Shoot. Let's see. You know what? Let me try something. Okay, so I gotta have him not facing just so like robotically. I gotta twist his body a little bit. Oh. Because what I want to do is I want to bring that foot there forward, and I want to bring this foot there back. There we go. Well, right on, Bumblebee. What school are you going to? All right. Here, there we go. See, I'm breaking up the shoulders so that way it's just not like totally square. And I'm just trying to give his body a little bit of twist. You guys talking about what's his name? Maxer? I don't know who Maxer is. Unfortunately, that's I'm not really I like to make stuff, but I don't consume a lot, you know what I mean? So I gotta start getting into that stuff some more. And welcome Crunch Time Animation. How are you? John. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about me, or are you talking about what's that dude's name? Maxor. Here. Gonna probably play around with this some. So we need to find, yeah, Maxer. I gotta look this dude up. sources. I made that shit up. Nice. Alright. Actually, this is turning into a bit of a cluster. Hello, Israel. Let me pull up that dude's. Let me pull that dude's reference up again. So we've got 2 pistols, and one of them kind of comes, or at least one of his holsters, and it comes down like here. Alright, he's got like a red belt that wraps around his waist here. So, just kind of getting the basic components of his wardrobe together. So here will be where his boot kind of comes out. Okay. And he's got one of those Clint Eastwood poncho thingies. So boom. So he's gonna be kind of like looking up at her. Toro. I can see this dude's hair, so he's kind of got like white hair, yeah. No, I think I have enough to work with here. I just you know, I'm glad that you're here to answer some basic questions I would have otherwise had to email you about, or not email. How old am I? Text you about. Okay. So we've got a lot of belt action. I love animal abuse, especially when the animal abuses me. What the hell? I love the sound of this guy. Alright, so I gotta figure out what's going on with, well, first off, that other pistol is extremely big. So let me go ahead and actually shrink it a bit. Pop this out really quick. Alright, just pardon me for a minute. I'm gonna try to focus on this sketch a bit. So I'm starting to debate whether I should put the hat on her. Like she'd be like, So he's got one of those it's not a cowboy hat. I forget what you called that. It was like a rancher's hat. Shit. One sec, guys. Hello. All right, sorry about that. I was on a phone call. All right, so let's get back to it. So that's all messed up. So, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to figure out like a moving situation. All right. I'm probably gonna need to come through this later after I get some references. But I think I might be able to actually get away with that. Let's see. I don't know why that's still on there. So. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Yo, Will. Is my name Will now? So that comes over here. So there's the bandolier for his ammo. I believe he has another bandolier that comes. Oh no, wait, what is that? That is a no, that's another bandolier. Let's see. And my cat's over there just kind of being weird again. He really wants to go outside. I know her damn game though. I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to annoy me so that way I'll just be like, fine, go outside. Just leave me alone. And then she'll be like, freedom. Alright, so then I see he's got like long-ish hair. Alright. I'm gonna do some light erasure. So that way I can get his details a little more separated. So that's where his little cape goes down, yada yada yada. Okay, that's his cranium, that's his other hand. Yeah, this other arm is gonna be the problem. I gotta figure out what the hell he's even gonna do with it. Alright. But I think in this case I'm actually gonna yeah, the news. You're talking about the. Oh, you're talking about the election. Yeah, it is what it is. I wouldn't think too much about it. It's one of those deals where it's like, you have control, but not really. The choices were between bad, and it's like, well, great. What a shocker. We got a bad choice. Of course, I don't really know everyone's opinion on, or, political leanings, and I don't really want to go into that. So, ain't nothing but a thing, chicken wing. Nah. I like the silhouette better when she had his hat kind of off of her. Yeah. I like the silhouette a little better like that. So let's... I don't know. Something about this one. Something about this one is just worse than anything I've ever seen. I think what made this one worse, I don't know if you guys really follow this kind of thing, but I think what made this one especially worse was the fact that we had a choice between whom many consider a demagogue and basically a write-in candidate, one who like no one really chose and who no one really likes. No one likes Kamala Harris. So it was kind of like you either got stuck with a terrible choice or you got stuck with another terrible choice that you didn't even choose. So, I don't know. Take that for what it is, I guess. But it's over now. Got the orange man in there again. So, that's lovely. If I'm being totally honest, I didn't really care who won. I didn't like either candidate, so there we go. I feel like we're making leeway. So I'm gonna need to figure out his I'm gonna need to figure out his other arm a little later. I'm gonna probably do that this afternoon. But I've been on this for about an hour. I suppose it could. So what I'm gonna do for now, actually, is I'm just gonna I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna put this dude in front. I'm gonna put this old sketch down here with the rest. To help separate this, here's what I'm gonna do here. Yeah, that's funny. I just sent that very video to my dad. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cats. Eat the cats. Jesus Christ. Dude, the internet's wild. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cats. Eat the cats. Yeah, I know the song. My wife showed it to me, and I thought his whole comments about the Haitians were absolutely disgusting, but the song was so like so funny. Yeah, no, his comments were absolute trash, but the song was funny. So take that for what it is. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Oh, why should I actually? Oh, I see. Since I know what once I know what she's saying, I'm gonna have her kind of like picking up his hat up here. There will be her thumb. Vapor. I suppose the main reason is money. Fact is, when I make these, people want people want commissions and requests and stuff. So right now, I'm just kind of doing what I can to help bring in a little bit of extra cash. All right. Well, not just money. I actually do get a lot of anatomy practice when I draw her, so it's sort of like a double-edged sword, you know? And yeah, I mean, money's why a lot of folks do anything. You get a little older, you start to kind of, how do I say this? Your time is more limited. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the other hand. What she'd be doing is she'd be grabbing his hat. I just gotta figure out the arm placement. Cause something about it ain't working. But we'll burn that bridge when we get there. It's a pretty big bridge we've gotta burn. So I'm gonna need to, let's see, right around here is where she would be. I'm gonna need to pose this out. So here is her shoulder. Her other shoulder would be kind of over here. Yeah. So it's almost like. Well, this is gonna be tough. I should have probably figured that out before I drew the guy in. I almost feel like her arm's gonna come like back here and be like hidden behind his head. Right? Kind of coming over and then wrapping over and around and then coming out over here. Yeah. That's looking more natural. So I'm gonna have to have her hand wrapping around his I'm gonna have to have her hand wrapping around his hat. That'll be a good way to sort of illustrate her hand sizes. Maybe having it dwarf the entire hat. And I don't consider my anatomy skills particularly good either. I know a lot more than I used to, but I'm by no means an expert. I still have trouble remembering the names of some of them. So there, I'm liking that. Hey John, what do you think? Like, I know it's not too developed, but the placement of everything doesn't look terrible. It's got the makings of it where if you look at it, it makes sense. At least in my opinion. So cool. There. So, yeah. Excuse me. So let me go ahead and... I'm just kind of getting some baseline values in there. It helps me kind of recognize what's happening with their silhouette. So, am I like the only guy who's never really got into Harry Potter? It's not bad, it's just not something I was ever really into. You're a wizard, Harry. I'm a what? A wizard, and a bloody good one. There. So I'm gonna go ahead and develop these ones over here now. And I'm actually gonna get them on a separate layer. You're a wizard, Harry. Alright, cool. So let me ask all of my non-American, we'll ask all of my non-Americans a question. Do American accents, like, can you guys... Is there just, like, a single common, like, American accent that you guys do whenever, like, you're making fun of Americans? Like, you know, I'll use my credit card type thing. I've always liked hearing how people outside of the U.S. Regard us whenever they talk, because it's like y'all always have the same accents, and it's usually just like the most cookie cutter American one, and it's kind of funny. Or like Boston, or the the Texan. You don't mess with Texas. Let's see. I don't know. I've always found it. You mean Valley Girl, like the Woo girl? I don't really know. How the hell would you do a like Valley Girl? Like, oh my God, Becky, let's go and get some pumpkin spice latte and get super fat. Oh my God, Becky, I just saw Brad kissing Jenny. I'm gonna go get my dad's credit card and Porsche and just go spend lavishly at Graciana. My God. So, I live in California, and I've lived here a long time. I have never actually heard anybody talk like that. My God, it's like a stereotype. My God, bro. All right, hang on. I need to do some. You do some stupid sketching. I hate when I gotta do any work. Working is so boring. Oh my god. Well, don't worry. It's the same thing for us whenever we hear like the British or the Australians or the South Africans. You know, y'all basically sound. You know, whenever we do like our own little impersonations of you guys, we usually probably stick to stereotypical the stereotypical versions. My God. I don't know what kind of accent she'd have. The thing about California is like our accent in general is kind of like mine. Like my accent's pretty normal California stuff. Um, so like our accent's a little more generalized, I suppose. So she'd probably sound her accent would probably sound somewhat like mine, you know. But like, oh my god, Becky, she might do the whole like woo girl thing just for like, you know, for fun. Like, oh my god, LA. See, I'm not from Los Angeles. My wife is though, so she'd probably be more of an expert on what kind of accents they have down there. Yeah, there's a pretty distinct difference between South African and Australian. They don't sound even remotely the same. My God, Becky. Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big. My God. Let's see. So, Tiger, you talking about Gus Fring? That dude's Spanish is all messed up. Like, I don't even know what the hell his accent's supposed to be, man. I know they say he's from like Ecuador or Chile or something, but like, just in terms of just his Spanish is always a little kind of like, what the hell, you know? Got a little Breaking Bad action going on in the Well, yeah, I know this show says he's from Chile. It's just sometimes the way he talks in Spanish sounds a little weird. It's not like a big deal though. The show itself is pretty dang great. So since we're doing a flat sort of look here. Dude, I'm getting sick of seeing Pedro Pascal, personally. Like, I've seen enough of that guy. Hot take, but not an uncommon one. Alright, so I think I got... There's her other heel. There's... Yeah, I kind of don't like how this is coming out. Let me start with this guy. A little more leeway on his clothes. We got a little bit of action coming down like this. So then got his red belt. So, having him kind of bring his crotch forward a little bit, kind of exaggerated cowboy. Sort of, this town ain't big enough for the two of us type thing. Here's the back of his blouse. Vapor, what's going on my X profile? Alright, so he's got that holster there. So just Jen looks kind of messed up right now. I'm gonna need to find some reference. So there's where it kind of comes down. Hey, yeah, did something happen to my X profile? I'm kind of wondering now. Then here's his sandal here. Yeah, pretty much. At least on those days where she feels like she wants to, you know, she wants to do that kind of thing. I would imagine there'd be days where she's just kind of like, yeah, I don't want to mess around with any of that, so I'm just not going to pack my suit. John, maybe. I made a comic that actually had a couple of extra panels, but I'm gonna stick with just these two for this. I'm gonna actually turn up the size of his head a little bit. All right, I need to give him some. I need to give him some extra bulk here. That neck is not supported by a body. All right, cool. So then we got his. So we got. A lot of weird stuff going on with the hand because he's trying to like twirl. Right. And I've got his got a sleeve here. So that's his hand for twirling. Now, because of his stance, I'm gonna need to do some work down here. Doesn't have snakeskin boots in the reference, but gotta put it there for exaggeration. All right, good night, John. Thank you for stopping in today. Might be a little too exaggerated. Let's see. I might need to actually bring that forward a little bit. no, it's not really a good indicator of how big his head is. No, he's kind of a manly man. So I need to get his features I'm gonna need to get his features representative of his masculinity. So one big one would probably be his hat. Right here. All that size and stuff there. Okay, I've been on this for a little while. I'm probably gonna need to move on here soon. Let's see. I never like the sketch phase. Let's see. So we got that twirling. I'm just trying to make sense of everything on his body that I can see from the reference, but I think I'm putting it together. So there's where his trousers come up. It's like his red waistband. There's some like, is that like an owl figurine on his belt? I'm gonna need to drag that hat down a tad. Give him more of a mysterious quality. There. Let's see. It's this size of these. very clearly perspective here. It's hard to pin down, but let's see. This one. I don't like that. It's not looking right. Bumblebee. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Have a good weekend. Okay. This isn't working. Let's see. I think I see. It's because I didn't draw it that way. So she's actually front facing. So there's the. These are her arms. So. The clavicle comes down a little too far. There. go. Let's try to get her center of gravity, just kind of like this. Kind of. And I believe you, Toro, wanted his her briefcase already kind of set down. So oh, I don't want her to look too angry. Let's see. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. I'm trying to get this sketch done properly. I've been to a lot of military bases, and by far the best ones were Air Force. So those are my favorite. I've really been on enough ships, honestly, to gauge that properly. You know, this cartoon right here calls into to question the fact that I like never draw base form Jennifer. I gotta do more of that. So I gotta give her some of that bow leg action. Yeah. Ha! Base form. Nice. Alright, yeah, I'm liking this second drawing a lot more than the first one. I'm gonna put that away. I try not to get rid of drawings when I'm using them, just in case maybe they might come in handy. Giving Jen kind of a bell shape for skirt. I'm gonna need to soften up her jaw a little bit down here, but I need to sharpen actually her shoulders. Let's see. Getting somewhere. Now I kind of I want Jennifer's base form to kind of just be, you know, she's like a really I want her to be skinny. Like really skinny. So I might need to actually reduce the bell shape a little bit. Gonna give her a more slender frame. There. This right here is gonna need. That's gross. Let's see. I might need to come back to this later because I gotta move on to other stuff today. I need to pull up a reference of this version of Jen. Ugh. Her silhouette is that sort of that spiky bang, right? Okay. Yeah, I kind of like this version a little more than the one that I drew recently, where she kind of like had blonde hair. I like the silhouette bun behind her head, or the bun silhouette behind her head. So sharp up front, soft in the back. Let's see. So actually, open. She appears to be too tall then, huh? Because she is not supposed to be that tall. Because this dude's like, what, 6 something? How tall is he, Toro? Oh. So he's 6'4", huh? 6 feet. Okay, yeah, so she should be like right around here. Let's see. So if he's 6'4", she'd be like 4 something. So she'd be more like right here. There we go. I might actually bring her a little closer to him. I'll bring them both a little over here. No, she's gonna be like 5, like 5'5", maybe 5'6". About my wife's height. To give her upper body some sharpness. All right. Okay. I don't like her expression suggestions too. Now, I might just have them both. I'm getting rid of this. I don't want to keep that. There. Now, obviously, she's gonna have her glasses and all that, so I'm just gonna get the placement there and all that. Hey, Pickfinity. It's going okay, I guess. How are things going with you? Glad to hear it. Let's see. All right. I might need to actually stop with the sketching here today. Eh. I'm probably gonna pass on Venom myself. All right, see you, Tiger. Have a good night. It's a hell of a pronounced jaw. So I gotta take care to make her neck silhouette. There we go. So, bada boom. Now it's gonna be writing down her chest and kind of coming over here. Same deal with this over here. So this way is gonna kind of come over and then down like so. Yeah. So all of that needs to stay. We have that that clavicle flap. So. To kind of keep things a little easier, I'm probably gonna stick to the style of my animation. It'll just be more it'll be more developed. So she's gonna have that bun back there. And that little other mini part of her bun back here, which comes back to the sharp of the back of her head, the tip of her skull, which makes her hair pointy. Her nerd glasses. Just so the sideburns, which originate up there. Her forehead indicator, which comes up to her bang. Cool. I actually kind of like how she's looking here. So I gotta give her a little bit of that separation flap that will allow her legs a little bit of maneuvering room. I'm probably gonna need to. There we go. So actually, this right here needs to. Yep. Okay, so what I might need to do for right now, there's a knee and there's. So because it's good stylized, I probably don't need to go too crazy in depth with anatomical detail. I still do want to get it looking right. She kind of got that pencil leg thing going on. But at the same time, her hip right here does not support that. There. Now, heel would be here, her other heel would be here, which would make other foot come like that. Oh man. Drawing's a lot of fun. So I might there's her other knee, which should look like this. Tilla, down. Boom. I'm glad you think so, man. Because I don't. I struggle with a lot of this. But then again, I'm just trying to get faster. There. That's the main deal, is we're always trying to time is money in this kind of thing. Okay, so what I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna need to establish the ankle. Okay. There. I can believe that. And what I have to do in a lot of these cases, I need to increase the size of the joints at the right places to help sell them. What I'm also trying to do is establish some volumes. Turn these drawings into boxes somewhat. Okay. I like her shape there. She leans a little too... She leans... Nah, you know what? That's okay. You just get some basic, Nalon. I have not really been deployed, not really. Only places I've been to were Japan and Korea. So by the time I got in, pretty much all the wars in all the wars, like, you know, Iraq, Afghanistan, I mean, those were all pretty much done by the time I got in. What's going on, Smith and Wesson? Let me see something. She might need to have her... Let me see this. Yeah, I knew that was messed up. There we go. That works. Kind of keep the drawing somewhat lined up. There. I always have her glasses on, so I kind of... Hey, Toro, do you want her glasses to stay on? If you're still here? Are you sure? I don't know. In the end, it's going to be your call, but I don't know. Either they're on or they're off in this case. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep them off. I mean, I've been drawing her with glasses like every single time, so I think I should probably give that a rest at some point. She wouldn't have them on all the time. Yeah, I suppose. I just kind of like her having them on. I don't know. That's just me, though. All right. I'm gonna stop this part for now. Come back to this a little later. I'm gonna take a small break, and then I'm gonna get to animating. Toro, I'll do some more work on this later. I've got enough roughs on everything here to sort of give him another pass. I still got to do this guy right here, get some of his details more squared away, but we'll burn that bridge when we get there. All right, I'll be back in a little while, guys. I just need to pop out for a few minutes and just get some air. All right, guys, I'll see you. Check back in like an hour or so.